You tell me you love me, but I ain't been feeling it lately. You say you love keeping me fly, but can't keep me from looking so crazy.
Part two, let's get into it. So I was saying that, so I had found out about her March 6th. Moving forward, I had spoken to Stanley. He knew that I knew. I ended up packing my stuff and leaving our house. And I also ended up speaking to her. And of course, her side of the story didn't match his. And it was just the ultimate betrayal. That was the first time where I've had ever been faced with something like that. Finding out about the side chick. And I ended up moving forward, long story short, I ended up taking him back. What's the girl to do who's in love, right? You think that a person's gonna change and they're gonna do better, and of course, obviously, we're separated, and sure enough, it didn't work out that way. But so let's talk about how I officially seen her face to face. So they had an award ceremony like a couple weeks after all of this stuff had went down, and Stanley didn't want to go, but I didn't care. I wanted to go. I felt like I had a point to prove, and a point to prove because, first of all, you want to clown, let's clown, because I can be petty, and I had a point to prove to not to him. Yes, to him. I had a point to prove that I'm just not a doormat, and you're not just gonna treat me any kind of way. And so, if you think that you're gonna be able to just avoid me and this woman, you're not. And I just need to let my place be known, since you obviously didn't do a great deal of that. But thinking about it now, it's pretty silly. Like when a woman's like, I'm a main chick, or like he come home to me every night, like this, does that make cheating okay? Like, does that excuse the behavior? Like, he already disrespected you, and a real man wouldn't have you out here trying to prove the role that you have in his life. And I had to learn that the hard way, because I was sitting here trying to defend my role to another woman who really, Stanley should have did that from the jump. It's not my place to prove my role to someone else. So just keep that in mind, ladies. The next time your man out here playing. But at that time, I felt like I had a point to prove. I felt like I want her to feel stupid. I want her to feel dumb. Like, you just thought y'all was gonna run off in the sunset and that was gonna be the end of it. You know better. So, needless to say, I was like super stressed out because I didn't know what to wear, and I was going through a ton of outfits. I need to make sure that my hair was on point. I'm doing all of this to prove this woman a point, and to prove this man that I'm worthy of this role. And Holy Spirit, clear as day, was just like, you're doing too much. Like, you just need to just be you. Because at the end of the day, whether or not he respected me, or whether or not it was about claiming my role, you should never allow a person to take you out of character. You just gotta stay true to who you are and be who you are. And the type of person that I am, I'm not the type of person who just does all of that. Like, I'm pretty nonchalant most of the time. I don't really like drama or conflict, so I don't respond to a lot of mess. Um, that's kind of how I am. And so she ended up, so the next day, I was actually, one of my friends was supposed to come with me and him, but she ended up backing out at the last minute. And I was driving back to work that day, and I began to become so frustrated because I'm like, Lord, like, I really in my mind felt like I had a point to prove, and everything, nothing was going the way that it was supposed to. Like, and I was riding to work, and I heard Holy Spirit clear as day. Shout out to the Holy Spirit, the real MVP. Was just like, you just need to go in there with your head held high, with your confidence. And it was one of the realest things, because looking back at it at that time, like, it was about her. But I wouldn't have thought that that message from the Holy Spirit and that lesson would have been a huge relevance to today, the present time. It's always a reminder to me whenever I go somewhere, whenever I meet somebody, because I was a person who didn't always have the best confidence or that high self-esteem. So it was just a reminder to walk in there with your head held high, with walk in places with my head held high, with confidence, because at the end of the day, I want to be the type of woman that when I enter a room, people immediately respect me because of how I carry myself. And so you probably expect me to act a fool. You probably expect me to call you a bunch of bitches and hoes and cause a scene. But I'm going to walk up in this place like a lady. And really, that's all I had to do. We got there, and as soon as we got there, she was at the door. She seen us before. It was a few people in front of us, and she was laughing, giggly, hi, 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 you know. And then she seen us, and her whole mood shifted. And I just thought to myself, I said, head held high, confidence out of the roof. And that's what I did. And I know y'all was probably like, you didn't do nothing else. I didn't do nothing else. I didn't have to do nothing else. She was uncomfortable. And she was uncomfortable. And that's what she needed to be, uncomfortable, because you shouldn't be messing with nobody's husband. So thinking about it now, like maybe that lesson was more so she needed that, because sometimes I have to ask myself, whether or not, like, am I doing this because of a deep insecurity, or am I making this decision based off fear? Like, I always have to ask myself, what inside of me is making me do this? Because sometimes we make decisions and we do things based off our insecurities and our flaws. And so I feel like she needed that. She needed to, for whatever reason, I felt like you have to feel pretty low about yourself to be sleeping with a married man. Like, you have to be. And you can't be in a good place. Like, you just can't. And so thinking about it now, maybe she needed it more than I did. Maybe she needed a reality check more than I did. And so that's how I met the side chick. I actually seen her a couple times after that as well, because Stanley still chose to coach the football team. Hella disrespectful. But I seen her a couple times after that, and still very awkward. And that's fine. Because at the end of the day, like I said, walk in here with your head held high and your confidence, and you shouldn't have to prove your role to no one else. Like, whoever you are with, like, it is their job to be like, this is my wife, that's my girl, this is my man. So you shouldn't have to do that. And so, like I said, it was really silly of me to just be like, I gotta prove a point. Like, she needs to know, like, I'm his wife. Da da da. No, she already knew that and she didn't give a damn. So, what purpose is that gonna serve? So at the end of the day, it's about you, baby, because you're the victim. You're the one who got cheated on. And so at the end of the day, you don't have nothing to prove to nobody except for yourself. And if the person you with doesn't have enough respect for you, enough love for you to let people know what it is and what it's like, then that person doesn't deserve you, period. So, Friday vlog. Y'all. Monday vlog. Monday vlog. I hope that you guys are having a blessed day and a blessed week. As always, I'm Emotionally Unboxed Ray, and I am emotionally unboxed because anything less than that, in my opinion, is unreal. And my truth is definitely my strength. It is that very thing that keeps me pushing, y'all. I feel like that's all I have, and if I didn't sit in front of a camera and I didn't talk about this, I would literally go insane. So, I'm out.
You tell me you love me, but I ain't been feeling it lately. You say you love keeping me fly, but can't keep me from looking so crazy.